shall just celebrate Jubilee, and we're going to talk about blowing up Parliament.
That's how we roll.
Hey, it's nearly November the 5th. It'll.
I mean, that is my birthday.
It's
that is my birthday. So.
It is. Harley was actually born on Guy Fawkes night, so I mean, it's only apt to at least attempt to blow up Parliament.
Perfect. Well, let's see what damage we can do when we kick this. And we're here. It's another live stream band interview. This time, it's the guys from Raptors, Simon and Harley. What's going on, my dudes?
Yo, my man. How you doing?
Good. All the way from Bristol, UK. How is it in sunny side Bristol, England?
It's actually roasting.
Yeah.
It's normally it would be like ironic. We'd be like sunny Bristol and it'd be fucking raining and miserable, but it's actually like roasting. For a redhead in this heat, I'm sweating my balls off.
It's hard to imagine some places like that actually getting sun and being hot. We just assume it's always dark, gloomy, raining, and looks like Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the one day of the year. It's the one day of the year where it's not that. So it is a rarity for sure.
Excellent. The new record, Living Without Death's Permission, is out today. Today, people. That means like you can finish streaming this and then go stream their record and then put it on a playlist and then have your friends stream it and then stream it all night. You know, you don't need to just leave it going all night. The first thing I thought when I heard this record was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Is that at all the vibe you were going for?
It's definitely one of the vibes. It was it's basically a snapshot of the last few years of life. So it encounters every single aspect of everything we've kind of gone through, the goods, the bads, and the incredibly uglies.
The incredibly uglies.
That's not part of the sex bit. That's not the sex bit. Cut that bit. It's definitely there's the full elements of that. There's all sorts. There's definitely the drug side of things, and everything in between.
And everything in between. That leaves a lot to be spoken for. Most bands hit the studio, they have like a sort of goal or something they're trying to achieve with the record, you know, whether they want a top 5 single or they're trying to achieve a sound, or maybe you're looking for that last feature with Ozzy before he succumbs to madness. What kind of goal did you guys have, and did you accomplish it?
To be fair, the thing that we really, really want to do, firstly, is being absolutely true to ourselves. As songwriters, we've always just wanted to sort of get rid of boundaries. We don't believe it. We're music fans as a whole. If it comes out punk, if it comes out hardcore, if it comes out metal, it's all good with us. So there was no boundaries going in. And what we really, really wanted to capture as a kind of a theme of the whole thing was like the human element of music and how much you can put into it. So it really is a very broad spectrum of the human condition, I would say. And that's what we like to think we achieved that. I think it's a roller coaster of an album.
Very nice. Harley, anything you want to add to that? I don't want to exclude you out of the conversation, my man.
Man, he said it. You know, like we just kind of went in with the mission of just making music together. Like that's kind of always been what we've been about since day one. So it's just, making something real. Making sure, I mean, like we fight over it, but making sure we're all heard in every element. Because we're all mates. We all get we all have our up days, down days, and everything. So
it's definitely
it was important for us to do.
It was definitely a gloves off feel, and it was definitely a turbulent one. But that's the Raptor way.
The Raptor way. It's definitely been turbulent times. I think 2020 is the worst year in anyone's book. How did your band persevere through the awful pandemic?
It was a bit of a mental year.
Yeah.
So as it happens, we started off the year kind of in denial of COVID even existing. So end of 2019, the whole of 2019, we were touring. Like it was year 2 as a band. Like we started in 2018, hit the road straight away, plowed through 2019, just racking up dates, and we assumed that was going to be continuing. So we started.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. January and February 2020, we were on the road. No breaks. It was just straight on through, and then it was the 3rd week of March, and it was like, the world is shit the bed, and it was that was breaks on. But I mean, we were very lucky in a way as a band that we had been writing while touring. So we had some bits in the chamber, and we had actually recorded on a break in October. And we'd already recorded 2 songs. And as soon as the pandemic hit, we weren't intending on releasing those songs yet, but we were like, during this little break,
smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, we were like, let's get out. So it was like the 1st of May, I think it was. We literally recorded the video just before all the restrictions came in. So we had like a bunch of mates in, had a bit of a party in our rehearsal space, recorded that, dropped that during the pandemic, and actually this whole journey started with that single. It was You, Me, and the Devil Make Three, and I think in a way, in a weird way, it feels kind of wrong to say it, but in a way, COVID almost helped propel that song, because there were so many people bored shitless at home.
Tell me about it.
And everyone was like rinsing Netflix, rinsing Spotify, rinsing YouTube, and because of that, it propelled into a lot of different circles, into spirals, into algorithms that it might not have done otherwise, because people were just looking for new music, and they found it. And including the people at the label, they literally came across it on Spotify on a late night session at home, and it got into their hands, and that was our introduction with Metal Blade, and it started a fierce journey.
Metal Blade is a legendary, notorious metal label. Signing there, did it make a Yopipi big? How awesome was it to sign to Metal Blade?
To be honest, up until about last week, it's all still felt really surreal. Like when we got the vinyls came through, we got it delivered. We opened them in the rehearsal space all together, and it was only then that I was like, "Oh shit, this is really happening!"
Seeing the 40th anniversary sticker on the fucking vinyls and the CDs, we were like, "Oh shit, this is legit."
Pull it out of the sleeve, and the whole sleeve is just like a Metal Blade logo, and I was just like, "Oh man, this is so sick,
so iconic," and it's a great,
so much history to it. It's a real like humbling experience being part of it now, and they've just been so sound. And I think that added to the surrealness of it is that we were in the pandemic when we got signed. We were in lockdown. We were speaking like this over a Zoom call, I think it was, and so that didn't help with the surreal aspect of things, because I was like, we're just chatting to them. I spoke to Bryan Slagle over email, and it's just like, it's because they've been saying the same. They were like, normally they'd come down to a show and we go for some beers, sign an actual physical contract, do it like a very different, and that's how we always picture it. But the fact that we were in the midst of a global pandemic, the likes of no one has ever seen, and we were there, like all of this was happening. I was like, is this a fever dream? Are we tripping balls and like in group hysteria? Has this even happened?
Yeah.
And it's even like releasing the singles and videos and stuff. I've still been like, this is insane. But
and having the tangible, like, that tangible thing in your hands, that kind of like cemented it for me. Like, because the document that we signed and everything, the contract, it was all digital.
Everything's digital.
So
yeah.
everything has just been digital. So to now like have that in our hands is like, shit, this is fucking real.
Yeah.
It's not just
Having
MP3s now. It's real vinyl with a big old album cover you can physically touch.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, we had hands in on the artwork. Like, I did all like the graphics and scribbling all over like the files. But even seeing that like in the vinyl sleeve and in the CD sleeve, it's like, it's like another world. Like, it's actually like printed. It is real.
Yeah,
it's not just pixels that I've been staring at tirelessly for hours and hours. But
earlier you said something about that's the Raptor way. Do you guys have any sort of band philosophy or way of life that you collectively go by?
Yeah, I think it's a no bullshit rule. It's
don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick is the kind of the
follow that
the slogan. But it's very much as much as it sounds cliche, but it's a family vibe. Like, this is how we clicked so soon. We've been friends for years before we were even a band. We all knew each other from different bands, from different projects, from college.
Yeah.
We'd all kind of played in bands with each other. So we knew that we were going to gel, but it was kind of an immediate gelling situation. And when I say like the family vibe, it is a family vibe, but that's not like the rainbows and butterflies kind of family. It's like we fight like brothers,
like a Sons of Anarchy family.
Yeah, that's literally it. That is literally it. It's gloves off, no egos, no time for egos. Well, I think if anyone got an ego, they'd get a slap in. So it's
towel in.
Yeah, they'd get a full towel in. It's very much we try to be as real as possible, and I think that comes across. Someone at the Heavy Music Awards the other day said something along those lines, and they were just like, it's like speaking to real people. I was like that's a weirdly good compliment.
Yeah, stick around in the entertainment industry long enough and you'll start to appreciate real people a lot more.
I won't name the name, but it was someone who has been around that a lot and been for the last couple of years, and they were like, "It's really nice to talk to real people." I was like, "I'm gonna take that." It's definitely, and it's the way we keep each other grounded. That is the kind of the Raptor way. It's hit everything at 100 miles an hour, and as a unit, as a wrecking ball.
So this has to be made up. I read that you went on an expedition from Tokyo to Australia to Fiji to LA. What the hell is this?
Simon story time.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that was a. So I nearly died like in a car accident.
Hell of a way to start a story.
Yeah, I was basically told I should be dead. So the moment the adrenaline wore off from that, because I came out with a few broken bones and some glass in my head, but like apart from that, pretty unscathed. And when the medical professionals were like, you shouldn't be alive right now, it kind of opened my eyes to like, I was like, shit, there's no time to waste. I gotta start living. And it's kind of a way that I've kind of lived since then. And that included packing my bags up with any money that I had, and never really been anywhere by myself. So I was like, I'm going to Tokyo. And never.
Why not? Back. Yeah, Tokyo. That's a good start.
Yeah, it was the first place I'd ever been, like, just alone. And I just thought, fuck it, I'm gonna head over to Tokyo, with a bag on my back, and they didn't come home for the best part of the year, and just kept bouncing everywhere, sleeping on floors. Find my way somehow to ended up in LA, and good surreal place to end up as well.
Oh yeah, you can really find yourself in LA and a nice vegan burrito and a latte.
I actually loved LA, in fairness. It was like some very surreal times there. A lot of it's a different mentality. There's some I mean, great people, but there was some versions of delusion I'd never kind of met or never have since either. Like I can't really explain it to people here or to people who haven't been there, of like
irrational optimism.
Yes, that is exactly it.
Yes, people are full of their own shit. They are high on their own supply, and they think very highly of themselves.
The amount of people that I met, and they were like waiters, or they were bus drivers, or like, and I was there by myself, so I was like, I'm gonna go talk to everyone, and I didn't care if I came across crazy. I had no one there to judge, but I was like, I just love the human mind, so I just loved speaking to people, seeing what they're about. And for the first week I was there, I was just like, everyone I spoke to was, they weren't a bus driver. They were like, I'm a bus driver, but really I'm an actor.
Oh yeah, everyone's a struggling actor with a screenplay.
Yeah, I'm a waiter, but I'm actually just I've had my audition. I'm just waiting for the callback. I was like, how many years have you been waiting for that callback? Like, it was crazy. The ratio of people that were doing that, like living like that, I was like, that is madness. But it's for it, it's very, very interesting and great people. Like I mean, there was the delusion, but everyone's really nice, and it was like really, really fun. But there was this part of me like going, oh shit, like people were really like pinning their hopes and dreams on auditions and stuff. I thought that was a stereotype that you just hear of, like people moving to Hollywood from all over. Because I was staying in West Hollywood as well. I'm not going to literally throw everyone in LA under the bus there. This was in particular, I was working in a hostel in West Hollywood, and
you meet some characters in West Hollywood for sure.
Yeah, it was great. I fucking loved it, man. I absolutely loved, and I loved everybody there. But there was some crazy stories, and I buzzed off it, and that's the kind of stuff that inspires me. And that you get into all sorts of trouble, and you have a lot of experiences with people like that, which is just great fun.
The songs Let Me Die How I Want, Cold Ground, and The Death Rattle are a trilogy of songs you wrote about your grandmother's suffering and ultimately mourning your grandparents. It said that self-destruction ensues. How did you pick yourself up from that? It seems like a pretty dark place to witness.
It was a dark time. It wasn't so long ago. It was probably just before the pandemic, or just a matter of months or so before that. And the whole of Living Without Death's Permission is this quite like a sunny side of looking at things. Like, I feel like I'm living on borrowed time, so every day is a bonus, and like I love life, got a lust for it. So it was the death rattle really kind of it's like a paradox where I was stuck in this, like I couldn't help but feel bad and feel mourning for my grandparents, but it was this confusion of like, I felt angry at my grandmother for the way she decided to go, and then obviously the heartbreak, which ultimately took away my grandfather within months of his wife dying. And my kind of experience there was trying to then I try to be the guy that kind of lifts everybody, and like I want to keep plowing because life's worth living. But then it was at that point that I was like tormenting myself and thinking, oh, I've got to live double fast now. I got to live for them. But then having this sadness, it felt like mania. Like it really felt like I was in a manic state of trying to live fast, wanting to go out, but then wanting to drink myself stupid to forget about the kind of the downside of mourning and of grief. So it ended up in a bit of a cocktail of destructive times. But I mean, the way I ended up coping with it was writing about it. And it seems to be the best way of coping with most things is letting it out, and letting it out in a creative way.
A lot better than being self-destructive, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Get the self-destructive bit out of the way so I can write about it afterwards. It's just, it seems to be the way of handling things. But yeah, just kind of by writing about it, kind of admitting the fact that I was doing it really kind of did help. And obviously letting it out on stage, I think is it's a good form of therapy. It's a lot of fun, and it's loud, and it's like a physical thing as well as mental. It's a good coping mechanism, and when you end up talking about it, the crazy thing is not so much with the death rattle because no one's heard it yet. I can't wait. People are probably listening to it right now, which is awesome. But yeah, hopefully people are listening to it, and if you do get any kind of connection with it, then hit us up, because I love hearing about it, and the more I kind of talk about these things and talk about what we said about the human condition and the human element, it's when people kind of reach out, and it's that connection. That's why we do it. Like some things we write about are super uncomfortable and they're super painful, or they're like dark memories, or they're like insane memories, or like awesome memories. And when people are like, oh, I get that, it's like a full circle, because they feel good that there's someone else talking about it. I feel great because it's connecting, and I'm like, well, I'm not the only one feeling this now. And it's a good circular kind of motion to be in.
Yeah, it takes.
I can dig that. When you were talking about self-destruction, I felt compelled to ask, like, it's like, man, everyone I can think of in my social circle, we've like been through something where we were self-destructive and just kind of punishing ourselves with alcohol or whatever it is. And yeah, it's shitty. So I definitely wanted to touch on getting out of that hole, because some people don't ever climb out of it, or they find it harder than others. It's a shitty place to be.
Yeah, it's 100%, and it's kind of taken on since finishing the album. It's taken on even more meanings. Unfortunately, there are people that aren't with us now who were not so long ago. So it's forever present, and it's forever a reminder of for ourselves to keep living, but also for the people that have been left behind to. That's what we want to do. It's a portrayal, it's a release, and hopefully people can see it and feel it and realize like there's so much living still to do.
Good point. Very good point. On some more positive notes, the record is badass. Your vocals are fucking rad, very unique. What is your vocal background? Did you ever have any sort of lessons? Have you always been singing in the shower? You a choir boy?
No, it's more of the shower. I've never had any training. It is more of I think my training was driving around with my mum when I was a kid. We used to travel around a lot, like we were just nomads. And mum had great taste in music. She was like big into like the 80s, like Brit rock and glam metal, like, and Guns N' Roses and like Bon Jovi. So anything with a massive chorus, that's what I kind of grew up with. So I remember being like this tall and just belting out with my mum. I probably sounded absolutely fucking awful, but I just knew it was such a great feeling. Queen as well, like just ridiculously like big and like stupidly big choruses. So that is where my education with music kind of came in. It was just hours and hours of traveling and belting songs with my mum and with the windows down in the car. From that, just started doing it in bands in school. And I think I was shit for a long time. So it's definitely not like
there are some bands that are touring right now that are still shit and don't know it. So it's okay.
It's mighty fine auto tune. No, I'm not going to be shady. But it's definitely the just repetition. And I know there's some bastards out there who just I've got friends who are like super talented and they don't know how good they are. And I went to school with people. I was always surrounded by people with such good talent, and that is what's made me grind harder, because I would never say I was natural. I had a natural ability. It was more of like, oh, they're really good, I want to be better than them, so I'm going to do like 10 times as many hours. And
you put in the hours in the gym to make it into the league. Basically, you weren't gifted like the first round pick or nothing.
Yeah, it's a constant Rocky montage in my head. Just pounding some meat. Well, probably shouldn't say that.
That could be misconstrued. You know what? Leave it. It's kind of funnier that way. Harley, when did you first pick up a guitar?
I think I was like 12 or 13. I was basically doing archery at the time. And
you thought it was a bow and arrow?
Well, no. Like
one string.
Just strings. Like I was like, I want more strings. But
nice.
Yeah, basically my family were like, we can only afford to either do this or that. And I was like, I want to kind of do archery. They were like, guitar's cheaper. So
I don't know any millionaire archers or any famous people. I don't know if you get groupies doing archery, but hey, it could have been an interesting career path.
I mean, I'm not against you picking that back up now for some sort of stage show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, now you can do it.
I mean, you've seen my aim with a football.
Yeah, that's a good point. There'd be death.
Yeah,
I've seen you with a guitar.
Yeah, I nearly knocked my eye out with my guitar.
Jesus.
Yeah. Kicked it into my face. Had to go to A&E. It was like mid-set. There was blood everywhere.
That was. Yeah, we were in the middle of a tour, and we were playing one night in a place called Swindon, not too far away. And third song in, Harley smashed his face, and he turned to me, and I was like, right, gonna keep calm, because if anything I know about like first aid or anything is just don't let anyone panic. So I was like, it's all good. And you were like,
I can't see.
Oh my God.
And I was there like, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
To be fair, he powered through.
Yeah.
And like from each song, the eye just got bigger and bigger and bigger until you couldn't see. And I was like, I don't think I could see. And someone in the crowd was just like, holy shit. and the next thing you see was an ice pack, like wrapped in like a towel, coming through the crowd, and a shot of rum in their other hand.
Very nice.
You see the hands above the crowd coming through, came to the front and delivered an ice pack to the eye and a shot of rum. Yeah. And then he carried on.
Yeah. Nothing.
That's a trooper. Oh man, eye falling out your skull and you carried on.
And the worst thing was then we had to go to A&E because we got off stage and it was like, okay, yeah, show's over. We need to fucking get him to hospital. So we went to hospital, and we were in hospital for 11 hours while they were just trying to make sure that his retina was still attached. So we stayed up, me and Harl, in hospital. The other guys slept in the car park at the hospital, and then we had to play a festival the next day. Yeah. And we went straight in, no sleep. He had to get some massive sunglasses to cover up his face.
It was a cloudy day as well.
Yeah.
And I was wandering around wearing sunglasses, and they were like, who's this fucking arsehole?
Yeah, we were like,
I was like, you don't want to on a lot of drugs.
Don't look under
Keep the
there.
sunglasses back on. Yeah, it's fucking
Jesus.
awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you guys gain any sort of influence from like other forms of entertainment, like movies or TV shows or I don't know, anime, whatever the hell you watch?
All of the above.
Yeah.
100%. I think it's anything with drama, anything with a bit of like balls behind it. Like
Balls are good.
balls are good. Lady balls, it's all good.
Any kind of
It's-
balls.
Any
It's all
kind of balls.
inclusive.
It's all absolutely. I feel like there's a lot of, and especially in lockdown when we wrote the whole album during the lockdown. Like we had a few little ideas going into it beforehand, but the actual album that has surfaced it was all done during lockdown, and in that time it was like watching documentaries that got me livid, watching TV constantly, which is thought-provoking, and just I mean horror films definitely always point in the right direction, but I mean it was TV especially was the Rock Bottom is a Stepping Stone. That song was all based on something I saw on TV during lockdown, which was super fun. I mean at the time,
say the name?
I mean it's from it was American TV, to be fair, and it was something that I've always found super weird is televangelists.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's taken off a little bit more over here now, but it was obviously it's always been quite big.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, honestly, it's so bizarre because like I have absolutely no problem with any kind of religion. I think having faith is a great thing, and it can steer people's lives in the right direction. It can really help. And
There's a place for organized religion in society. I think extremism of any type is usually bad.
Yeah, extremism and money. Like, what the fuck? Money and religion, there should be no connection at all.
And yet they go hand in hand like lovers in bed.
Yeah. And it wound me up because there was just lots of talk of it, and there was just one particular guy, I won't say his name, but there was one guy from America. I think he's very famous and very, very, very rich.
Is it the dude with the kooky eyes?
I mean, he looks like the fucking Antichrist.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's a jackass.
Yeah, and he was blowing away COVID, like send money, and he could blow through the TV screen and blow away COVID. I was like, I was laughing at it.
That's the guy with the crazy eyes. Yes, that guy's a lunatic. He said that the following summer was going to roll in and burn up COVID and was going to burn it away.
Oh, yeah. It's fucking absolutely talking out your ass. It was just like, it was the roller coaster of emotions that I felt because initially it's funny. Like I couldn't help but laugh, but then in the intrusive thoughts when they're coming in, I was like, actually, hang on, he is on TV, he has got his own private jet, people are giving him money, and let's face it, it's not rich people giving him money. He's suckering in people that are poor and thinking their only way of salvation to get into heaven is to give this cunt money. Like it's
preying on the vulnerable.
Yeah, so that drove me absolutely insane, and because I had nowhere to vent it because we were just stuck in these four walls while in COVID. It worked. A song came out of it, but it is it drove me absolutely bonkers because I was like God hasn't got a bank account. Like there's no need for religion and money to go. Spirituality and money just don't compute. So
there's an old saying: if money is the root of all evil, then why do churches want it? It's kind of a valid point. The same people who run these like mega churches or the televangelists that you see on TV, like you said, private jets are loaded. you notice they never end up on any sort of list for philanthropy. Like, they're not helping anyone but themselves. They're not even like, most are not connected to a charity. Like, you can look up online and see what Joel Osteen's home looks like. It's fucking massive. It rivals like Dr. Dre and shit. And it shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
No, it's absolutely mad, especially when they're reading verses like it's easier for a camel to fit through an eye of a needle than a rich person to get into heaven. And they're reading that from their fucking jets or whatever. It's like, oh, wake up, everybody, wake up.
Yeah, I've never understood those people, because I think the way they operate, like, truly they find themselves to be Christian. They think they're the ultimate Christian. But anyone else looking at them can be like, well, you're kind of full of shit. You're not helping anyone. You're selfish. It doesn't add up. Like, I think Paris Hilton's earned her money better than a televangelist has.
Literally. At least there's some sort of substance there. It's like, well, not substance.
No, there was substance to that sex tape. I mean, Joel Osteen don't have no tape I want to watch.
That's true. I'm pretty sure she was on some good substances as well at that point. So
gotta love night vision, man. Do you guys have a favorite movie or director that's maybe not X-rated?
Leading on to that, yeah. I would say, judging by, like, I never, it changes from day to day, but just judging by the amount of tattoos I've got inspired by them, it's Evil Dead 2, Sam Raimi. He's my boy.
Cult classic.
Yeah, that's that. And anything Rob Zombie related is it's always good in my books. How about yourself, Al?
I change all the fucking time. I'm like really enjoying like the Blumhouse stuff and A24 stuff, but yeah,
A24 is really popular right now. They're putting out some weird films.
It's not a genre, but it's a genre.
It's a total.
It's a studio that's turned into a genre now because people are looking for that shit. Yeah,
they just fucking crush it.
They do.
Really enjoying like Robert Eggers' stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much good stuff.
There's so much like coming out now, but in at heart I'm definitely just an old B movie kind of fan. That's even though when you're like when a film is so bad that it's good, that's when that, like Bruce Campbell, anything Bruce Campbell does, I can watch Bruce Campbell forever.
I'm not allowed to say my favorite film, my hangover film.
Twilight.
Street cred.
Street cred, yeah.
You could say
it.
Moana.
The songs are so good, bro. They're so good.
I want to fucking eat some Ben and Jerry's, cry at Moana, have a little bit of a sing song.
There's nothing wrong with Moana, and Encanto is good too. We're down with the Disney films on this pod.
Yeah, we knew we liked you, man. Yeah. we knew we were at home there.
The songs are too addictive, man. Like, if I'm not supposed to watch that shit as an adult, then they shouldn't have made it so good.
That is a fact. I mean, Soul has got Trent Reznor doing the soundtrack, so they know what they're doing.
I don't even think about that. That one kind of bored me, but now knowing he's on the soundtrack, that's kind of a depressing Disney film too. It's about being dead the whole time.
Yeah.
New shit for them.
Yeah, they're not afraid to go to those places. What's the other one about the afterlife? Oh god.
Isn't it Encanto or the one with all the sugar skulls and the Day of the Dead stuff?
Yes, that's the one. Oh fuck, I've forgotten the name, but it is fucking amazing. I can't remember at all what it's called.
No, I don't know. The kids watch them. There's so many of them. I can only keep on like the damn songs and shit.
But yeah, they know what they're doing, and they ain't afraid to go to pretty dark places. But it's a cool vibe. I'd have definitely, as a kid, I'd have absolutely loved that as well. I was a morbid little motherfucker, so I'd have loved that. I had Beetlejuice introduced to me. I got an older brother who just would be like, watch this, and just to watch my reactions. So I was like, watched A Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like 3.
Oh my god! Yeah, you're getting exposed to all the bad shit early.
You're allowed to,
I don't want to go to sleep.
You can't say fuck, but you we can let you watch Bram Stoker's Dracula and Aliens. Sure, yeah.
Are you guys sports fans? Are you like football, soccer fans at all?
Yeah, I like watching all sports. I like doing some, but like soccer. I'm a Man United fan, which is embarrassing to admit at the moment because they're just sucking this. Well, they absolutely suck this year.
I mean, you give it a year or two, and it'll be completely different. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna like start drifting towards Wrexham AFC though.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds
and Rob McElhenney have just bought a football team that, like, as a kid, I used to play for until I was like 16. I used to play for their Centre of Excellence. I mean, I don't think anyone in Wrexham will mind saying it's not the greatest place on earth. It's such a bizarre team for them to have taken over.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not even a team in the Premier League. Oh,
it's not even in like any of the leagues. They're about 5 leagues down.
Does Ryan Reynolds know this?
I don't know if they knew when they took it on, but it's so entertaining to watch them do it and go into the games because there's the stands. Like there's 2 teams in Bristol, and they're considered like smaller teams, and they're about 3 leagues above Wrexham. So there's the stands and everything are small to have like A-lister celebrities go into these games. It's hilarious. So it's I might have to get a Wrexham shirt and start supporting those guys. See where they're at in like 5 years time.
I've seen the band Inner Shikari. They have a sponsorship on some youth league out there. You guys should get Raptors on one of the jerseys or one of the kits out there.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, it would be so sick. We were actually having a little design of some football shirts ready for the World Cup this summer. So
very nice.
Oh yeah, we'll have to keep that under wraps. Actually, nah, fuck it. Yeah, we've got. Enjoying some sports merch in the Mo. It's looking good.
I just want to get some boardies.
I like seeing your shirt there. I do kind of want some basketball shirts.
Yeah, basketball jerseys, way to go, bro. Especially for the summertime. Yeah. Wait till I'm total white trash and I'm just wearing this outside with nothing else.
Yeah, I think we'll have to speak to that team from Toronto and see if there's see who the real Raptors are.
Oh. Yeah. I'm not cool with them winning that championship a couple years ago, so definitely you can stake claim to that. They ain't really shit now anyways. Have you been to a football game out there?
Over like a soccer game?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, it's such a good vibe. Even if you're not a massive football fan, like I always recommend people go into those games because the atmosphere, because like the stadiums here, they're so massive. Like Premier League and Championship ones anyway. But even in Bristol, like there's a good few thousand, and just soccer fans and like football chants and stuff. It's so funny, and it's like it's not as hooligan-y as it kind of seems. In the news, it's usually all bad reps, but for the most part, like football fans they're pretty sound, and it's pretty damn funny. It's usually the London clubs. When the London clubs, that's when it gets a bit stabby.
Yeah, that's perfect. Because I was going to ask what the atmosphere at the games was like, and then ask how it compares to a Raptors show. Maybe less stabby.
Less stabby. I mean, there's probably more carnage at a Raptors show than there is a football. Because it is quite all in unison at a football game, and it is a really good atmosphere. But we kind of prefer the carnage, prefer the sweating walls and the people diving on each other,
footprints on the ceiling.
Yeah, that's always the end goal, is to see how many footprints on the ceiling we can get.
Perfect. The most important question I can ask you guys: when are we getting you to the States?
Not soon enough.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's painful, and this is the most painful thing of having the American label is like we're talking to them and they're speaking of ideas, and it's just like, let's do it now, but they're very realistic. It's like we're not going to jump the gun and do it like right now, but there's definitely sort of plans in the works, and yeah, we're definitely working our way there. I wish I had like a specific answer for you, but it's going to be as soon as we possibly can.
It sounds like you're putting the proper planning into it, though, because I'm sure you've seen there's a ton of overseas tours, whether coming here or someone going over there, and within a month of it happening, it's canceled because of logistics or just shit that the band can't control.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like the everyone who's saying it is like, oh, we've had there's been some whispers and been some really cool conversations from people speaking to the label about us, and there's been obviously they're friends with everyone. Chris Santos, who's head of Blacklight Media, knows a lot of people, and he's plugging away. Excuse
oh,
this.
Shit, was that my parole officer? Oh,
that happens all night. We live in a certain part of town here. It's
that time of night. It's getting a little stabby.
Yeah, it's got a little stabby. It's not football fans though. So Chris has been giving the record to people, and we've had such awesome response from some people in the States who have openly said they want us on tour with them. But it is just ironing out and not coming unstuck, because it's heartbreaking to see, man. There's been so many people that have got to customs and things have gone wrong, and obviously with Brexit and all this fucking nightmare here, like it's caused more issues further afield than anyone thought it would, because we didn't think it would affect things to the States and to Australia, but it's affected absolutely everything, because of just laws and stuff are all changing here. So everyone's being very realistic and trying not to get too carried away. And it's something that we're kind of good at. It's grinding. We know there's going to be a good bit more work here, and it's nice to see the following in America is getting bigger and bigger. And as of today, with the release, it's hopefully going to keep spiraling. So we're not going to come over as underdogs. We kind of want to come over with people knowing us and wanting to come out, not just happening across us. We want them to be there for us so we can get their footprints on the ceiling. Oh, we've got a mute. Well, we got an accidental
man,
muting.
Okay, it's a couple beers and I'm hitting these pens, I forget the buttons on. It happens, all right? So if I'm looking to stalk you on social media, or I want to find your merch store or whatever it may be, where do I find you?
So the best place where it can all be centered around is raptors.com. So it's RXPTRS.com. And from there, you can get the links to our Bandcamp, to our Spotify, to YouTube, to Facebook, to Instagram. Everything is RXPTRS.com. So it's the easiest way for them all. But we are everywhere. We've got new up on TikTok. We're on absolutely everything now. So hit us up there.
Excellent.
Stalk away.
Man, I'm just realizing I should have wore the Raptors jersey. It would have been so much more literal. Make sure you guys catch us every Friday night with a new musical guest. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all those links right there. You know it, I've said it a billion times. Any last words before we get out of here, fellas?
Check out the album Living Without Death's Permission is out today.
Right now.
Yeah, do it. Hit us up on all our socials, and we shall point you in the right direction to music. And hopefully we'll catch you all very, very soon in real life.
Boom.
You you don't know.